Yo, greetings and salutations. It's Chief Security Officer Don Corleone of American Muscle Security LLC in conjunction with Stack Books Foundation LLC in conjunction with Parent Group Confidential LLC. Salute to everybody. It's what a string operation with Forge. And that was what a string operation Get Well USA. It's Operation Meshack, and Abednego. And I am your host, Donnie Guard, badge number 11516464772. Bodyguard, whistleblower, watchdog, search party, coordinator, me, special police, I say police. It's Sunday, August 2nd, 1:22 in the afternoon, and I'm sitting at the crib and just having an exercise drink, which I created myself, and I'm actually working on something really cool, and I'm not the first to do it, but there's a lot of people that you can like patent an exercise drink if you're like into shit like that. I like to patent stuff. I create apps. I made a app for forensics officers to help detectives and law enforcement officers solve crimes. But I also created a music app, for DJs to spin, because I use digital turntables whenever I make mixtapes. I don't use the real turntables anymore. It just saves me money. I'm on a budget. I'm a college student. But I also created a beat making program. If you're a producer and you make beats too. Anyhow, I'm gonna patent my energy drink. It's kind of like a protein shake, but I thought of it. I'm like, yo, everybody's patenting, alcohol, and everybody got their own drink, from effing vodka to Ciroc to whatever it is. And that's great if you're a millionaire, but I'm not a millionaire like that. A broke person like me, a broke college student, not really broke, but a college student on a budget, you can create something like that and patent it, you know what I mean? And make as much money as somebody that has their own Ciroc or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think back to the social network. How did they come up with Facebook, and how did they come up with all that stuff? They were creating apps back then. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to do all that. But anyways, I just want to give a shout out to everybody wearing a Rebuild performance and rehab hat. Shout out to the company themselves. That's a great idea. Keep motivating people to stay motivated and keep performing and rebuild from scratch, because that's what it is sometimes. It's Sunday. Anyways, just keeping it real, discussion real quick for the guys. This is Donnie Talks. Tell everybody to turn on your IG. Donnie's on. Between me, you, and the guys, man, last night, I was watching, I'm gonna keep it real, I was watching some twerk videos last night. Just twerk videos, all right? And I almost spilled my bucket. I'm like, oh my God, he said he almost spilled his bucket. See, you're never going to really hear this in church, but if you go to a men's discussion where they break up in the men's groups, and I don't really go to church, but every now and then I catch a couple men's discussions, or I'll go to like a AA, even though I don't have a drinking problem. I used to go to NA, and I never did any narcotics in my life like that, you know what I mean? So I don't have a narcotics problem, but it's the structure you get when you go to a group. It doesn't matter what kind of group it is. Support groups are really good. If you don't go to one, start your own. It's good because not everybody's a college student. Not everybody wants to go to a group and study. But you'll hear a elder, even a pastor, or a minister, or somebody who's a church guy say, yeah, man, last night I almost spilled my bucket. They're not going to say it at the top of their lungs or during the sermon, but when you're with your men's group, they break up. Okay, today we're going to at Elder Bob's house, or make sure Elder Bob's kids aren't around, or his wife is not there, or you're in a man cave. Today we're going to have our men's group at the YMCA basement at 8 o'clock until 9 p.m. You know what I mean? But you got to pick up the environment first. And my channel is a channel, whether it's one of my platforms, it's all adults watching that shit. So I don't have to worry. Nobody's watching it that's a part of a church or anything. And if they are, they understand they're a man. And, they understand I talk about the stuff that men go through. But yeah, it's okay to say spill your bucket. If you say something else, it's a little bit, of a highlighter language. But that's kind of like right there, radar level, where it's like, what is he talking about? I'm talking about I almost spilled my bucket. I was washing my car, and I finished washing it without spilling my bucket. So anyways, I almost spilled my bucket. And I just want to tell you that I woke up this morning and I didn't. Because when I was watching, the twerk videos, all right, I flipped to actually, another page, and I contacted somebody, and I let them know, like, man, I'm not sad or, you know, heartbroken or anything like that. It's just, I'm a guy, and just I felt like spilling my bucket, but I didn't. So and I'm glad I didn't, because here's the thing. I say this to tell you, there's guys that look like they have it all the way together, and they might have a great car, they might have a great job, a lot of money. They might even have a girlfriend that looks like a fucking $1,000,000. She comes to see them one night, like, why are you, like, your vibe, like, it's not like happy. Did you spill your bucket?
Yeah, I spill my bucket. But you know what? I like spilling my bucket. Spilling my bucket is me.